Yes, it's Blackman. My last name is Blackman and I am black. Yes, it is. Yes, it is a coincidence. One of my friends actually in my first Queensland side, she was calling me Blackie because everybody called my dad Blackie. And she started calling me Blackie while I was running around the bases. And all the other teams came up to her, all the other state teams, and started having to go at her because they thought she was being racist. And I was like, nah, it's someone back, it's Blackman. I don't know, can I say that? My name's Janice Blackman and I'm from the Gubbi Gubbi Badtjala tribe, which is up in the Sunshine Coast region and Fraser Island. I definitely use humour as kind of like more as an icebreaker, kind of to break that ice and address that elephant in the room kind of thing. So then we can all kind of mingle together no matter what situation it is or where I am or what I'm playing or what I'm doing. And I'm always going to love my skin that I'm in. I loved it right from the start, like ever since, you know, Mum kind of nailed into my head, like this is your skin colour, you can't get rid of it, you know, so just love it. A lot of stereotypes and a lot of misconceptions about me. Like I don't drink, that's one thing I don't do, and I don't smoke, I've never done drugs. But when I tell people that, it's a very big shock to them. And I'm just like, why is it a shock? And I'm like, is it because that's all you know about the skin color? Is that all you know about people like me? Is that what you associate with us? Because I don't do it. Education. Education is probably the biggest one because I think that is the key to closing the gap on what we have right now. I would love to be able to share that amongst our mob and amongst non-Indigenous so then we can actually help close that gap, you know, because essentially that's what the goal is, isn't it? Is closing the gap. Our mob are built off warriors, our mob are built off resilience, our mob are built off determination. Essentially for me, as soon as that goes on, that's game time for me. And that's before my warm-up. After I put on my shoes, that's the black paint straight on. And essentially this paint is actually called war paint, so I think it kind of fits well. Talking about all this stuff and actually being an ambassador for Share Yarn has actually brought me closer together with the girls a little bit more. And they want to learn more about it. I know all the girls were very, very interested on acknowledgements and welcome to countries and stuff when we first started, because we've actually got a new Indigenous training shirt as well. When we got to present those jerseys, all three of us got quite emotional actually because it was such an empowering moment, and that in itself is a big, big step forward. And that's essentially what we ask for, is a massive step forward in just some sort of acknowledgement. And then the fact that our girls want to acknowledge our culture is saying something a lot. It's a really awful feeling when you feel out of place in your own country, you know, but when you're essentially playing for your country, but you still feel out of place in your country. It doesn't really make much sense. But these girls have made it like, I feel at home with these girls. I feel free. Now that I have this combined into two, that's essentially all I feel. I feel free. And that is probably the best feeling I've ever had being in this team.